are back on Moons Technologies Ltd Train of Thought with a series of episodes with Mr. Pravin Sawant, who is the CHRO with 63 Moons Technologies Ltd. It's an interesting insight and story exclusively on ttalk Moons Technologies. A rich experience about the initial stage, how he struggled, and today at the top of a pyramid. Sir, welcome again back to this episode.
My pleasure.
Now actually the marathon starts from here after MCX. Now in fact you're part of an MCX in 2004. Can you share with the target audience how you got plunged into MCX?
Okay. So after having worked with the MRCC for 6 months, maybe after a couple of months only I realized that this is the organization that I shouldn't be working for longer period of time. I don't want to get into why. But it was a sea change for me. So my CV was always floating on that point of time, and now also Naukri.com is a very famous portal. One of the recruiter from Financial Technologies, which was a parent organization of MCX, picked up my CV. His name is Vasu Patta, and he's still a good friend with me, working with me. So Vasu picked up my CV and shared it with the management of MCX, and they had this vacancy of somebody who can be in charge of HR department of MCX. So he shared me the CV to the in charge of HR department. That point of time, the corporate communication head was temporarily in charge of HR. So he shared my CV to Arshad Khan, and Arshad was the head of communications. So I was called for an interview, and one of my good friend who shared my CV is Shripal. Shripal picked up my CV, shared it with Vasu. Shripal runs a consultancy called Mesh Consultancy, and my CV went to them. Arshad called me for an interview. He took my interview. He liked me, possibly maybe with my background. And I was happy that I'll be working somewhere in Andheri close to my college, which is NMIMS. And that point of time it was very hectic coming from Thane to attend the college. So after this interview with Arshad Khan, 10 days afterwards I got a call from Vasu, and he said we need to meet to have a discussion on salary. So he gave me hint that I am selected, and I told Vasu, whatever you can offer, you offer to me, because I was frustrated with my current job. And Vasu was kind enough to understand my issues, and Vasu and then his boss was Rakesh, both offered me a role of a senior manager with MCX. They both used to work with parent organization Financial Technologies. I was the in charge for MCX as a HR.
Okay.
And I got a clean slate start to work with MCX.
That was the initial stage, where the foundation was laid down.
Yeah. So MCX was barely into operation for 7 months, and I joined their first HR. Samida was my assistant at that point of time, and she still works with me, and we have a good bonding of last 18 years. So we started from this HR department with the scratch, with my knowledge and with my experience. The processes we started building in, and MCX grew in 2006. It was a sea change with the vision that the founder, Mr. Jignesh Shah, had. MCX became #1 commodity exchange in India in 2007. It became #1 commodity exchange in the world eventually, and for me it was like coming from a district to state level to nation to the world. It was the orientation for me that this organization was possibly at a district or state level, became a global organization in a period of 3 years, and with the leaders
feeling out over there,
with the leaders that joining MCX, and with the vision of Mr. Shah, it became a #1 organization, and that really gave me a fillip to my career.
Many a times I think if you get an opportunity in the free hand to work at the grassroots level and build up the entire HR processes which are there, I think again now you highlighted all the kind of work which you might have contributed. Now, in fact, again your marathon of and being part of Financial Technologies India Limited.
Yeah.
How did that happen, and what was the role which you have played, and what was the main driver like?
So when I joined in 2004 MCX, we used to work in silos. That means I'll work for MCX, Vasu Rakesh used to work for Financial Technologies. Although both organizations were interconnected, we used to have our own policy, they used to have our own policy. In 2006, the management decided that we should have a shared department. And we had a person called retired wing commander Raju Thomas. He was he joined us as our boss. And he started integrating the processes with us. 2007, the organization grew further, and then we had a president and global CEO, Dr. C.M. Dwivedi, Chandra Mauli Dwivedi. He joined us as a president and CEO. And with Raju Thomas and Dr. Dwivedi, we had synergies of HR departments. At one point of time, we used to work for multiple organizations in the group. M6 was one of it. Financial Technology was always there. National Bulk Handling Corporation, which was a warehousing and supply chain management company, was there. We had a payment gateway company called Atom Technologies. We had an information vending company called Tika Plant Limited. We had 5 global exchanges, one in Singapore, one in Mauritius, one in Dubai, one in Bahrain, one in Botswana, South Africa. So the vision suddenly got enlarged, and when you work with the person like Dr. Dwivedi, he really brings out the best out of you.
Many a time we have seen you have got various mentor in your life journey, and in financial technologies, a mentor made your base foundation more strong. Is Dr. Dwivedi?
Yes, indeed. I cannot. Whatever thanks that I can give it to Almighty reaches through Dr. Dwivedi. The humbleness in HR, if one has to quantify, Dr. Dwivedi sits at the top of that quotient. He is the one who is a people's person. He is the one who understands the issues at the grassroots level. He also understands the issues at the top level, and he tries to mediate and brings those issues and solutions at one level. So he is the one who made us thought in a different manner altogether. So earlier, when the approach was all along that HR is just one support department, he brought the HR into the center stage, that we are partnering with you. We are, although we are a cost center, we can become a profit center for you. We will be the one who can resolve your issues. We will be the one who can address your issues to the extent that the operational heads should feel that they are talking to somebody who is there, who can solve their issues, not create the issues. So that thought process he brought in us, and I'm really thankful to Dr. Dwivedi. After Vijaya Deshpande, if there is a change in my thought process we have brought, is Dr. Dwivedi.
But एक चीज है Mr. Pravin, I would say the cultures, the value and the commitment and dedication which is there, and love towards what you are doing, and you're very clear at how you need to navigate as the career which is concerned. People will come in the way, and they are going to support you to take to your next level, as good as you were the Arjuna, and the Dronacharya were there in the organization, Good, great. Now, in fact, 13 years being part of an IT industries, it's unusual, an IT setup, working for so long. So, what was the main driver? एक Moons सोच की जो जो आपको it keeps on toe,
I think passion is the key driver. That what you do, if you love to do, and that passion makes you drive further. 18 years in one only IT organization. Overall, my IT exposure is 23 years. Out of that, 18 years in one single organization is something which is unusual for an HR. Today, when you see people changing job after every couple of years. This organization had given me multiple challenges, and I love taking challenges. At the same point of time, the outside opportunities were there, still there. It's just that you feel at home. You are at comfort that you are working for the organization. I personally feel this organization has made a lot of changes in my personal life, brought a lot of stability from the unstable background that I came from. It brought a lot of stability to me. It gave me an opportunity to work for multiple sectors. Working for only IT sector was one thing, but while working for IT sector, I used to work for financial services sector. I used to work for supply chain management sector. I used to work for payment gateway sector. I used to work for information vending sector. So that multiple sector when you work for, those were challenging days. That at one point of time I used to work recruit IT engineer. At the same point of time, I used to work recruit banker also, who used to work in a treasury department. So that is something which is a different food for thought that brought me, and it is still going on. Now my organization is into blockchain management and cryptocurrency. It's a new world altogether.
It's a new world,
so these things you cannot get, the exposure you cannot get outside.
Correct. If the young audience, the young professionals and the MBA students who are listening to Mr. Pravin Sawant, he started his career by being at the time office. Since he has a hand-on experience on typing, his speed was around 45 words per minute, and then at every phase of our life he went with an upgradation. He was part of NCS for 5 years. He went and did masters in human resource, and then he was also part of an general law to understand as well the company law practices which are concerned. And today, 18 years being part of an IT industry and as an CHRO of 63 Moons Technologies Ltd. I think these are the stories like what we carry on this ttalk Ek Boond Soch ki. The target audience, they draw meaningful learning and they get motivated by this kind of stories. I think stay tuned to ttalk Ek Boond Soch ki. There's a lot what we need to take from Mr. Pravin Sawant's experience, like what are the clarity as far as the HR functions which are concerned. If you like this particular episode, go to www.ttalk.net, subscribe and like the channel as much as you can, and do catch up with Mr. Pravin Sawant in our next episode of ttalk Ek Boond Soch ki. So thanks a lot for being part of
My
this.
pleasure.
Thank you very much.